Today in history, one man left Earth and changed history forever. It was April 12, 1961. The Cold War was at its peak. The United States and the Soviet Union weren't just competing for land or weapons. They were competing for the sky itself, for the stars, for the future. And on this morning, the Soviets were about to win a round that no one would ever forget. His name was Yuri Alexeyevich Gagarin, a 27-year-old Air Force pilot from a small village in Russia, son of a carpenter, grandson of farmers, a young man who looked up at the sky his whole life and decided somehow that he belonged up there. He was selected from thousands of candidates, not just for his flying skills, but for his calm, his warmth, his ability to smile in the face of the unknown. Because what they were asking him to do had never been done before. No human had ever left Earth. No one knew with absolute certainty that anyone could survive it. On the morning of the launch, Gagarin climbed into the Vostok 1 capsule, a metal sphere barely big enough to sit in. There were no windows he could see through at first, no manual controls he could fully operate. If something went wrong, there wasn't much he could do. But he sat down, strapped in, and reportedly hummed a tune while he waited. At 9:07 a.m. Moscow time, the engines ignited. The rocket roared, the ground shook, and Yuri Gagarin left Earth. He later said that as the planet fell away beneath him, he saw something he never expected: beauty. The deep black of space, the thin blue line of the atmosphere curving around the Earth like a halo. The silence. "The Earth is blue," he radioed back. "How wonderful! It is amazing." For 108 minutes, he orbited the planet once, traveling at nearly 17,000 miles per hour, covering over 40,000 kilometers. And then his capsule re-entered the atmosphere. He ejected at 7 kilometers altitude and parachuted down into a field in southern Russia, where a farmer and her granddaughter stared at him in complete confusion. He reportedly said, "Don't be afraid. I am a Soviet citizen like you. I've just come from space." Within hours, the world knew his name. He became the most famous human alive. Ticker-tape parades, state dinners, a hero not just for the Soviet Union, but quietly for all of humanity. Because one of us had done it. One of us had gone out there. The space race accelerated. Kennedy doubled down on the moon mission. A decade later, Neil Armstrong took humanity's next giant step. But it started here, in a tiny metal sphere, with a young man who hummed while he waited to make history. Yuri Gagarin never flew to space again. He died 7 years later in a training jet crash. He was 34. But on April 12, 1961, he gave the whole world permission to look up. Every giant leap starts with one brave step. Who do you think is the next Gagarin, and what frontier are they about to cross?